Good morning, boys and girls. It's windy outside, and it is a Wednesday, and we can make it a wacky Wednesday if you like. You can turn your shirt backwards. You could wear your hat backwards. You could wear different colored socks. You could be wacky on a Wednesday, and it's windy out. Those are W's, because we're going to talk about the letter W today. But first, what we're going to do is some addition, some plus. Let's review this. These are math symbols for when we use numbers. This is the plus. It's when you add on. Minus, when you take away. And equals. That means the answer is about to come. All right. Now, this paper is all addition or adding on or pluses. I'm going to get the paper really close so you won't see me, you'll just see the paper. These are all apples, and I'm using a really pretty red marker that Logan's mother and Logan gave me, and I love these markers, they're great. Now, how many apples do you see in this set right here? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3. So we know we've got 3 apples in that first set. How many apples do we have in this set? 1. And I'm also going to drop that plus sign down, and I'm going to put my equal sign there. So we'll do it 2 times, once with the pictures and once with the numbers. 3 adding on 1 equals what? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to put a 4 here. Then if we come down and do the very same math problem with the numbers though, 3 plus 1 equals 4. All right, now how many apples in this set right here? 2, good. And I'll put the plus sign. How many apples in that set? 1. And I'll put my equals. So let's go up and do the picture first. 2 apples adding on 1 more apple equals how many altogether? Good. 3. Now let's do the number problem. 2 plus 1 equals 3. Good job. How many are in this set, boys and girls? 2. Good. How many in this set? 2. I better put my plus sign so I don't forget that we're adding. And I better put my equal sign so that I know an answer's coming up. So 2 apples plus 2 apples equals 4. Very good. Now let's do the numbers. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Awesome. This is our, this one right here is the one we're on next. How many apples are in this set? Okay, 3. I'll remember to put my plus sign so I know what to do. Those are my instructions, what to do here. How many are in this set right here? 2. Then I'll put my equal sign. You know you've got 3 already. You're going to add on 2 more. So we say 3, 4, 5. So there's your answer. 3 apples, adding on 2 more apples is 5. Now let's do the number problem. 3 plus 2 equals 5. Awesome. Okay, here's our last one, boys and girls. How many apples are in this set? 4. Good. I'm going to put my plus sign so I know what to do. How many apples are in this set right here? That's easy. 1. Yeah, you just look at that and you know. I'll put my equal sign. Now let's do the apples. We know we have 4 already, so you don't have to count each one of those. We know we have 4. What's the next number after 4? We're adding on, and it is 5. Good. 4 plus 1 equals 5. Now let's do the number problem. 4 plus 1 equals 5. Awesome. Awesome. That was addition or adding on or adding. There's lots of different ways you can say it. Okay, now the letter W, that's what we would have started with if we were at school. And remember, we have this line right here. And then we have a line that looks like this. Then we have a line that looks like this. Now this is review for you all, boys and girls. I know it is. I hope you can see that well. I hope you can see it. What do we call the top line? The very top one up here. What do we call that? We call it our sky, don't we? Because the sky is up on top. What do we call these dotted lines? Those dotted lines are the fence, because we think of a fence maybe coming right about there. And then what's this bottom line? That's the ground, because we stand on the ground. Now when we make a W, it's 4 strokes. We start at the sky, we go down at an angle, like a slide that you slide down. That's the first stroke. Then we go up, then we go down, and then we go up. So it's a pattern, listen to it. Down, up, down, up. Now, boys and girls, you have to remember to start at the sky and go down. Look at this. This is how you are not going to do it. You are not. You're not going to start at the ground and go up, down, because what do you end up with? You end up with an M. We've already done M, haven't we? So look, I'm going to put a big X on it. You're not going to start down here. No. You're going to start up at the sky. You're going to go down, up, down, up. And that is the uppercase W. Now let me add on to this just a little bit more. And we'll do the lowercase W. It's going to look exactly like this, except we are not going to start up at the sky. We're going to start at the fence. So watch this. I start at the fence and I go down to the ground at my first angle, up to the fence, down to the ground, up to the fence. So don't they look alike, except one is tall and one is small? So watch how I do the lowercase one more time. I start at the fence, I go down, up, down, up. Now we're going to think of some words. Oh, I just said one. Word. W-O-R-D. It starts with a W. How about water? I love to drink water. Sometimes I'll put some lemon in it. Water. Do you remember wishy-washy? I'm going to put wishy-washy. Remember Mrs. Wishy-Washy in that story? She gave her animals a wash. Wishy-washy. Now, we have 2 Wyatts in the afternoon class. We have Wyatt. Let me write their name here real quick so I don't misspell it. Oh, I ran into wishy-washy. We have Wyatt G and Wyatt S. I'm going to say hi to both of you boys if you're listening. But look, their name starts with the W. Wyatt. Now look at this. This is one of my favorites. W-O-W. It says wow. And I'll show you a way that you can do wow with your fingers and your mouth. This is fun. Watch this. I'm going to put my cap back on my marker so it doesn't dry out. Okay, look. Here's a W. Down, up, down, up. Here's an O. O. And here's another W. And you say, wow. That spells wow. W-O-W. Wow. Now, if you do this, boys and girls, and you turn your fingers upside down, you've made M's. That spells mom. M-O-M. So you can go, wow, mom. And you've spelled those 2 words with your fingers and your mouth. Isn't that fun? I love that. Okay, so W, that is our letter this week, okay? I want to show you Squeak, my little kitty cat. She's sleeping. Oh, she said hello to you. Yeah. She's my granny cat. She's 18 years old, and that's really old for a cat. But I still love her. She's fun. Okay, so some W things. I have a whale. And I've got my fingers in his mouth, and when you close it, it squeaks. I don't think a whale really does make that sound, but it's fun. It's a puppet. See, my hand is up there. Hello, boys and girls. How are you? I start with a W. Okay. Whale. And then I've got something else, and I've got it in a Ziploc bag, but it is a wasp nest. Wasp starts with a W. Now, wasps sting. They're bigger than a bee, and they do sting if you bother them. But this is an old nest. I found it, and this is what they make to lay their eggs in each one of those little holes, and then when the babies hatch, they come out, of course. So this is a wasp nest. Wasp. And remember, our action for W is like you're scrub brushing your animals. All right, now then, let's talk about a frog grows up. Look at that frog. This frog is all grown up now. It has a long pink tongue. But did this froggy look the same back when it was young? No, we're going to find out what it looked like. It even has a fly. Look at that. See that fly? Their tongues are very sticky. So when they see a bug, they send that tongue out and the fly sticks to the tongue. Then they take it back into their mouth and eat it. How about some flies for lunch? From egg to frog. So not everything is born alive and already looking like its mom or its dad. So these right here are the eggs that the frog lays. And inside the little black dot, that's the baby frog. Do you see the black dot? This is keeping it safe, but that's the frog right inside there. Then when it gets a little bit older, a tadpole. We call those a tadpole. So that's what hatches out of these eggs. Does that look like a frog? Does that look like a frog? Mm-mm. So here's the tadpole. All right. Then the tadpole begins to grow front and back legs. It still doesn't totally look like a frog, but it looks more like a frog than this or this, right? Okay, so that tadpole now has legs. Then look, the tail begins to get shorter. This doesn't have a tail, does it? And this is finally the frog when it's all grown up. Now it looks like it's mom and dad, right? But it sure doesn't. It looks a little bit like this. Maybe this part, the front part, does not look like this at all. Does not look like this at all. So that's how frogs grow. Do all frogs look the same? No. Frogs can be many colors and patterns. So look at these frogs right down here. Look and see which one might be your favorite. This one's called a tomato frog. Why do you think they call it a tomato frog? Because a tomato is red and so is that. This one is called an azure poison dart frog. So that's poisonous. We couldn't pick that one up. I doubt that we could pick that one up. That's probably poisonous too. Most of the really colorful frogs are poisonous. There's a red-eyed tree frog. And this one is a spotted strawberry poison dart frog. So that looks like a strawberry color. It's also poisonous. And then this one down here is, oh, you're gonna love this. It's called a Pac-Man frog. I don't know why, but it's called a Pac-Man frog. Now you look at these and you decide which one out of these pictures do you like the best. I think this one's my favorite. I like his red feet. They have toes that help them grip. All right, very nice. Okay, we're gonna do our Ed rhyme family. Ed, say Ed. Okay, B-ed, bed. ed, fed. Ed, led. Ed, red. Ed, sled. Ed, wed. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Now then, let's do our alphabet letters. These are a new set, and this is the Q. Looks like a circle or an O, but it's got a little line in there to keep it from rolling away. The Q says qua, qua, qua. And your action, make your hands look like a duck's bill and go qua, qua. We're not going to say quack, even though that does start with a Q. We're going to say qua, 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 qua. That's a Q. R, down and around. Now, if we took that stick away, that would look like a P, right? But that stick makes it an R. And R says and I want you to pretend you're a dog and you've got a toy that someone's trying to pull away from you, and you're going, R. S, looks like a snake, doesn't it? It says S. I want you to take your hand and make the shape of an S, and we're going to go S, S, S. That's like a snake, S. T, T, T. And I want you to pretend you're at a tennis match, and you're watching the ball get hit over the net each time. T, 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 T. U, Now this is another special one that makes two sounds. So if we were at school, there'd be a yellow clothespin above this, and it would let you know that it makes two sounds. It says U, like its name, because it is a U, so it says its own name, U, like I'm pointing to U. And then pretend you're holding an umbrella, because it makes a second sound, and it's like you're opening up your umbrella. So the U makes two sounds, or U. And this is a V. Look at the point down at the bottom. That's different from the U. This has a curve, and this has a point. So U, V, 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 V. See my lips? V, V, V. And I want you to pretend you're driving a van. V, 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 V. You might have a van at home. Okay, now let's look at the matches. Here's Q, Q. Now, it would look like a P, but it's got a little hook on the back that goes away from this circle. If we put the little hook underneath, it would look like a G, but it's not a G, it's not a P. No. It wouldn't look like a P either because it's backwards. I have to look in my phone and everything's backwards. So if it's like this, that's not a Q. And if that little hook came underneath the circle, that would be a G. It's not a G. So look, the little circle goes back behind. It's not underneath here. So that's a Q. R, S, S, T, T, U, U, V, V. Good, good. That was just an introduction and a review because we did these at school already. Remember we made a quilt? Each one of you got a square and you got to decorate that square, and it's up on my wall at school right now. And I'm going to be sending you all your things that you've made in the classroom because I want you to have them. You've got a shamrock, you've got a hot air balloon, and you've got a quilt square. So I will make sure I get all those things along with your progress report to you and your family because you need those things, don't you? We'll go through these again the next day. And now, I want to read a story about Hatch. Now remember, not everything is born right away looking like its mom and its dad. The frog is not. Let's check. Let's peek and see that baby animals that hatch from eggs. I have fluffy feathers and a beak. To say hello, I like to cheep. Crack, crack, who's there? Oh, look at this. I'm a chick. Over at Rural King, they have chicks in the back, chicks and bunnies. I have sharp teeth and a bumpy skin. When I'm in the river, do not swim. Crack, crack, who's there? Who do you think it is? I have bumpy skin and sharp teeth and I swim in a river. What do you think? Let's see if you're right. I'm an alligator. You might have said crocodile too, that's okay. This one just happened to say this happens to say I'm an alligator. Okay. I have big eyes and fly at night. Hoo, hoo, may give you a fright. Crack, crack, who's there? Okay, so I have big eyes, I fly at night, and I say hoo, hoo. What do you think? An owl. Look at that baby owl. So when the mother lays these eggs, you just see an egg, and the babies develop inside that egg, and then they come out of their eggshell when they're ready, and their body is ready. I have scaly skin, and I like to bite. I hold my dinner very tight. Crack, crack, who's there? Okay, I have scaly skin, and I like to bite. What do you think? Oh, 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 oh. I'm a snake. Yee. Let's cover that up. Don't need to see that. My beak is orange and I like to quack. In the reeds is where I snack. Crack, crack, who's there? So I'm orange and I quack. What do you think? I'm a duckling. I like this book. I walk slowly and have a hard shell. My head and feet are scaly as well. Crack, crack, who's there? So I walk slowly and I have a hard shell and my head and feet are scaly as well. So they're not smooth. Oh, I'm a tortoise. It's a kind of turtle. I'm black and white and live in the snow. I wiggle and waddle everywhere I go. Crack, crack, who's there? I bet you know this one. I'm a penguin. Sweet. The end. So when some things are born, they're born in an egg. Just like this frog. Even though this egg isn't hard-shelled like this egg, but some things are born first in an egg, and then they develop in the egg, and then they hatch out. Very nice. Let me see what else I've... Let's see. Oh, look at this whale. Now see the man next to it? Look how huge that whale is. It might have been sick and it swam up on the beach and now it's gotten stuck. So what usually happens is someone will make a call and there will be a team that will come and help that whale get back out into the water. But look how big that whale is compared to the man. He's huge, isn't he? But whale starts with a W. And I got this magazine in the mail. It talks about wildlife. Wildlife are animals that live in the wild, not in our house, but things like bears. You don't make pets out of these. Here's a fox. Look at that fox. Do you know why the polar bear and the fox are white? And the seal, they blend in with their habitat, don't they? Lots of snow and ice, it's going to be white. Look at this moose and look at that rack of antlers it's got. I think that's a moose. Oh, it's a caribou, excuse me. Caribou, so it's a type of moose. They live out in the wild. owls. This is, let's see, a mountain goat. Look at that mountain goat. Love it. Turtles are wild. They live in the wild, in the ocean, don't they? Ducks, puffins, which is a type of penguin, whales. These are all things in the ocean. Those are wild. Uh-oh, look at this alligator. He lives in the wild. Frogs live in the wild. Oh, look at these. I see pandas and penguins, snow leopards. Look at the sloth. I had to talk slow because sloths are slow. Those beautiful? Okay. So anyway, that's, oh, butterflies are wild. Maybe some of you are starting to see the painted lady butterflies. They're black and orange and white. This is a monarch butterfly. We'll see those later in the summer. And they especially love these flowers. That's where they get the nectar from. That's their food. So wildlife. Okay, boys and girls, I have one more story. It's called Jelly Bean and the Unbreakable Egg. This egg won't break. Okay. First came Rose, then came Violet. Next, Lily came along. Those are names of flowers, aren't they? Then Daffodil and Tulip, and then something went wrong. Oh no. And it was just before Easter at the farm. And these hatched, but that one did not. Oh, I skipped a page. Hang on. One little chick, chick number 6, couldn't get out of her egg. The shell was too thick. Can you see how the illustrator made lines? She's trying to get out. She's trying to shake it. She tried every chick that chick knew to do. She tried, and the others did too. They're trying to help her get out. They pecked and they poked and they gave it a whack. But that unbreakable egg just wouldn't crack. So they begged and they pleaded. They started to shout. But that unbreakable egg would not let her out. So they're being kind of rough with her, aren't they, with the egg? Then the farmer came and took chick 6 away with the rest of the bunch that hadn't hatched that day. The chicks followed the farmer past geese, goats, and cows, up the front steps and into his house. There were eggs on the table, there were eggs on the chair, there were dozens and dozens. But which egg was theirs? Then the 5 little chicks heard a very soft rapping and knew that chick 6 was on the table tapping. The chicks flapped and they flew through the air. They flew to the table, and once they got there, their wings were so tired, their wings were so sore that the 5 little chicks couldn't flap anymore. One by one, the chicks dropped from the sky right into crocks filled with Easter egg dye. Now Rose was red and Violet was blue and Lily was orange and Tulip green through and through, and Daffodil was as yellow as any daffodil grew. Okay. Let's see. Inside her egg, chick 6 started to cry. The chicks followed the sound and found her nearby. They attacked one by one. They attacked in a pack. But that unbreakable egg still wouldn't crack. So they're still being rough with the egg, aren't they? So they rolled it off the tabletop and watched it drop. They were sure it would crack when it smacked on the floor, but it didn't. It just bounced and bounced right out the front door. Mercy. The sun was setting and the barnyard was calm. It's nighttime. Mothers and babies were snuggling all over the farm. The chicks realized, watching that egg roll around, they had been going about this entirely wrong. Instead of whacking and smacking and attacking that egg, they should have been hugging and holding and hatching that egg. Just like they see the mommies with their babies, they're hugging them. So these birds of a feather all huddled together to keep chick 6 and her egg nice and warm. Then it started to drizzle, and the drops that fell made the dye from their feathers drip onto the shell. And the pattern the 5 different colors created made that unbreakable egg look decorated. So remember, they were in Easter egg dye. And it's raining and the dye is coming off of them, and it's coming onto the egg. And on Easter morning, and the sun shining bright, the 5 little chicks woke up from the night. These were the colorful pieces of shell on the ground. But where was chick 6? They looked all around. Looks like she might have come out of her shell. All that's left is the shell. Uh-oh. Then out from the shadows stepped chick 6. Number 6, and her feathers were a wonderful, colorful mix. They were red and blue, yellow, orange, and green. So the chicks named chick 6 Jelly Bean. Because when you get a bag of jelly beans, there's lots of different colors of jelly beans in the bag, right? The chicks marched through the barnyard, proud as could be, with Jelly Bean in front, chirping, "Come on, follow me." Every animal on the farm joined in the fun, and it was the best parade ever, the very best one. You see, that egg wasn't unbreakable, not one little bit. The truth was that egg didn't like to be hit. Do you like to be hit? Mm-mm. So when you have a problem that grows and grows, think of daffodil, tulip, lily, violet, and rose. And when you get stuck and don't know what to do, don't hit, don't shout, don't pout, don't beg. Remember, there's more than one way to crack an egg. So if you've got a problem, you're just going to go talk to somebody about it. You're not going to be angry. You're just going to go talk. Hey, let's do a nursery rhyme real quick, and then we're going to say goodbye for the day. How about if we do Humpty Dumpty? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Here's your egg. That's Humpty Dumpty, and here's the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty together again. What was Humpty Dumpty? He was an egg, wasn't he? He was an egg. I love that, how that all came together. All right, boys and girls, your community circle statement. The silliest thing is. That's it. You have to fill in that blank. Listen one more time. The silliest thing is. And you fill in the blank. And I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day, boys and girls. Make it wacky. Make it a wacky Wednesday. Bye.